All right. Well, since we're jumping all around, we can jump back to the New Testament.
Yeah, and I think this is one that probably I don't know if people struggle with, but if you look at and here it is, where did Joseph and Mary live before Jesus' birth? Um, the way that we kind of have situated in our minds when someone says, I'm from Detroit or New York City or Los Angeles, we understand, hey, here's the outline of the map and here's the borough, and like, yeah, you can live within different points of, the city, but here's the city.
Right.
But here you have a different geography than what we're used to. Cities aren't always in kind of one location. You can have miles between different cities that are still called the same city, and conquering armies come in and kind of distract everything too, because then you'll have, the Romans call it something, and then the Jews will call it something else. Yeah.
Something else.
So we kind of I can see where confusion might come in, but calling it contradiction is not true.
Right.
So where did Joseph and Mary live before the birth? Luke 2 contradicts Matthew 2, 1 through 2, 11, 22, 23. And,
Or does it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So notice they lived in separately in several different places before the birth of Christ.
Right. Yeah.
So they traveled to Bethlehem for the census,
Mhm.
right? But they also lived in. It was only that So Luke says they lived in Nazareth, but they traveled to Bethlehem,
Mhm.
right? So they lived in several different places,
Right.
which is that. So where did they live? Well, it depends on when you're talking,
Mhm.
right?
Right. So they lived separately before the birth. Traveled to Bethlehem. We know that old story. Can't find the inn, which is not really what we think of an inn. It's probably an ancestral home. Didn't have any room there because everybody's coming in for the census. We have to go there for Joseph because when Caesar called the census, you return to your father's homeland.
Right.
So
it's going to where Joseph's homeland
Mhm.
was his father's homeland.
So putting it in Bethlehem here is an odd coincidence we would call divine intervention, where out of the smallest city David comes, and out of the smallest city Jesus comes, and it's a fulfillment of prophecy that we look for the Messiah. And here it is, directed by pagan Romans, and Joseph and Mary return there. Then Christ is born. They Joseph gets a vision from the angels, and that it says flee because you'll be caught up.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to Egypt to live there for a bit, maybe a couple of years or so. King Herod dies sometime in that period, and then they go and settle in Nazareth, and that's why Jesus is called Jesus of Nazareth, because that's where he was originally from, although not born there. So, you could be born in Detroit, you can move to Chicago. You most likely refer to yourself as Chicagoan rather than a Detroit person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you grew up in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
right, you'd say, "Well, I'm from. Where are you from? Chicago."
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, but you were born, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So like, I was born in Chicago, but we stayed there for a couple years, but I grew up in Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
in this area.